913-408-7957. That is the line to get in on a Tirade Tuesday. There's a line open for you, 913-408-7957. And the topics, well, it doesn't much matter. It's up to you. The floor is yours. It doesn't have to be the news of the day. It doesn't. In fact, oftentimes it's more entertaining when it's not. That's the beauty of Tirade Tuesday. Let's start off with Raymond in Pleasant Valley. Raymond, let it rip, my man. What's your tirade?
Morning, Pete. How you doing?
I'm well, brother. What's happening?
If the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl, please make it about the game and not Taylor Swift.
It might be a big ask for some of these TV networks. You know how it goes there, Raymond.
I know. I'm just wishful thinking.
Hey, but remember this. The Super Bowl's a long ways away. They may not be together by then. That's 3 months away, my man.
Right. I kind of think it's more of a business deal than a relationship. And you're going to see a lot of merch. But whatever. That's just my opinion.
All right. Well, let's just get through the rest of the regular season, Ray, with, limited Taylor cameos, I guess, even though I admit that I'm starting to love the relationship deep down. And not even deep down. I shared it with you yesterday. I can't believe the amount of triggered people on my Facebook page when I just simply say, hey, I kind of like this relationship and I'm pulling for him. It's amazing. You want to talk about tirades? Look, go to my Facebook. Oh, my God. Oh, the world's ending. What are you doing? Oh! It's like, just relax. Oh, my goodness. Everything doesn't have to be the world ending. Just, sheesh. All right. Rick in Lafayette County, what is your tirade on a Tirade Tuesday, Rick? Go.
Pete, everybody continually on the news media and talk shows like yours and stuff, continually talking about the interest rates being so high when they're not really that high. From the 1950s up until Jimmy Carter messed them up and then Janet Yellen artificially lowered them, normal interest rates have ran between 5 and 10%. People can afford homes. They just can't afford a home and going down to Power and Light and then a ball game and everything else and hanging out there with their buddies drinking $8 and $12 beers.
Well, I will say this, too. You know, I'm pretty sure the cost of a beer at the ballpark has gone up significantly past the rate of inflation the last 50 years.
I'll agree with that 100%. But
okay.
That doesn't mean you got to go there and hang out and slam beers like you're down at the local bar for happy hour.
Yeah. I know. It's almost like a cold one, but I get your point there. I do. And you're right, historically, on inflation rates. You're right about that, Rick. I'll give you that. There's no doubt about it.
I know I paid 7% for my first house, and my apprentice at the time, he paid 14% under Carter. So,
whew. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Attaboy there, Rick. Thanks for bringing that up. There you go. That's
I just try to point that out. I mean, it's not true.
I get it. Thank you very much there, Rick. Let's go to 913-408-7957. That's how you get in on a Tirade Tuesday. Tom, go ahead. What's your tirade?
I don't understand why Mayor Lucas doesn't spend as much time going out on media about all the murders that happened in the east side of Kansas City like he did the young kid that got shot up in Grandview. He traveled all over the United States, got on all these TV shows making an issue out of that. He's got almost 200 murders on the east side. I never see him on The View or, any of these other shows talking about this issue.
Well, there is a selective usage of when to talk about murders. I would say that, he was very vocal on the shooting at the Independence Center the other day, and that obviously was outside of his jurisdiction. So, and he does have, I think it's 160 some odd murders in Kansas City year to date. We're trending towards a potential record. So, hey, everything you bring up is well taken there, Tom.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice if the next time he's on your show, you ask about that. I mean, he doesn't get on talk shows talking about the problem in his city that he isn't fixing, but he'll raise an issue about one particular thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyway, thank you, Tom. That's a good tirade. Listen, it's funny. As Tom asks me the question to ask the mayor, I can almost speak. It's kind of like, your spouse. You know what your spouse is going to say to you, right? When you say something to them. That's how it goes sometimes. I've been talking to the guy for, 6 years almost now. And he's been on the show every week since the start of COVID, which was 3.5 years ago. And I was just, as Tom was talking, I was going through my mind thinking about some of the things that he would say if I asked him that very question. Not saying it's not worth asking, but just thinking about what he would say in return. Tirade Tuesday, 913-408-7957. Let's keep it rolling. We got an open line for you on KCMO Talk Radio. Fred, Overland Park. Go ahead, Fred. What's your tirade?
Yeah, last night during the game, they kept bringing up, because it was a close back-and-forth game with the Bills, they kept bringing up the Broncos win against the Chiefs over and over and over. Remember, that's the game that it looked like our receivers, they pulled out of the stands, the guy selling the hot dogs. Last night, there was late hit after late hit by the Bills, fumbles, intersections, all kinds of stuff. So not taken away from the Broncos on either game, but both the Bills and the Chiefs in those two games played piss poor.
Yep. Well, that is true. But, hey, you know what? The Broncos are certainly looking better. I'll give them that much. They are looking better, if nothing else. Bruce, Overland Park, what's your tirade? Bruce, go.
Hey, we're talking about the elections last week. I had to say that as a poll worker, we were given a directive not to encourage first-time voters. Typically, we would go in and a first-time voter would be recognized for, their step in maturity in entering the voting public and doing their duty as a citizen. But we were told to refrain from encouraging and clapping and encouraging those persons that were first-time voters because of one incident where the person felt embarrassed because of the cheering or the clapping or however they were celebrated at the time, which took away from all the other first-time voters that have used maybe some encouragement. You're doing the right thing. You're doing your citizen's duty. But Johnson County Election Board decided that was too much for one person to bear.
Interesting. I didn't know that, Bruce. Thanks for sharing it. That's tough. I guess if you're the poll worker and you just say to somebody, hey, thanks for showing up for the first time, that's cool. But, I kind of agree with, I don't need a round of applause because I just showed up to vote. That is kind of embarrassing. I wouldn't want that if I was a first-time voter. I'm just here to vote like everybody else. I don't need a standing ovation, all right? So I don't know the details behind it, but that's interesting. I hadn't heard that. Matt's in Stillwell. Matt, what is your tirade? Go.
Hi, yes. I just want to speak to all the listeners out there who have vaccine-injured children. Please start putting pressure.
It said Taylor Swift. God, now we're getting calls from who knows where. Oh, my gosh. All right, Carl, Independence, what's your tirade?
Hey, AOC and her comrades are referred to as the, come on, what are they called? The squad.
Wow, this is quite an ending to Tirade Tuesday. Jeez, way to crap the bed, everybody. Jiminy. I got one guy who's lying about what he wants to talk about. I got Carl who doesn't know what he wants to say. I mean, come on, step up there, big guy. Let's go. Drink the coffee.
My mind just went blank. Pete?
It's okay, Carl. I love you, buddy.
All right, all right. They're referred to as the squad, and their behavior is such that they act like a big pile of stinking stuff you can't say on the air. And I think it's time we quit referring to them as the squad and we start referring to them as the squat.
All right, you recovered there, Carl. You recovered.
Thank you.
I mean, everyone's trying to do their best Cori Bush impression. I don't know.
Black people, the insurrection, racism.
I mean, there was a lot of hemming and hawing and screaming and yelling about things that people were calling in about, saying they want to talk about one thing, trying to get into another, forgetting their words. Yay. All right, the good news about Tirade Tuesday is it's only 6 days, 23 hours, and 50 minutes away from happening again. So that means there's always a bounce back. It's kind of like an NFL game. You have a bad game, you play like the Chiefs did against the Broncos, you get a bounce back 1 week from now. That's it. It happens to the best of us.
24-hour rule. Forget about this one. We'll move on to the next one.
Exactly. Bingo. Well done there. Nice job.